So you've probably heard all the nonsense around about blue light. Don't watch blue light before bed, because if you do, it's going to give you insomnia, and that's kind of been massively overblown. So there was a study by the University of Manchester which had half the participants read from a paperback before bed and half the participants read from an iPad before bed for 3 hours. And what they found was that the people reading from an iPad before bed took about 10 minutes longer to fall asleep than the people reading from a paperback. So, you know, no one's ever come to me really stressed and anxious and worried about their sleep because it takes them 10 minutes longer than everyone else to fall asleep. So really, it's not the blue light itself. You know what? Good sleepers, they watch TV before bed and they're absolutely fine. Their knees don't blow off, their hair doesn't explode. It's really, you know, worrying and obsessing and getting really kind of anxious and stressed about blue light is far more damaging than the blue light itself. However, what I do not recommend is, computer games, social media, text messages, any kind of work or wakefulness activity before bed. And there's a very, very good reason for this. So essentially, what happens at night time? Well, if you've got a strong regulated sleep drive and a strong regulated body clock, the body clock will naturally make you start feeling sleepy at a regular time each night. So why is that? Well, what does the body clock do? Well, the body clock is designed to keep you awake during the daytime and help you sleep at nighttime. And the way it does that is during the day, it releases bursts of wakefulness hormones. So histamine, adrenaline, cortisol, all of these things are designed to keep you awake during the day. And as nighttime approaches, you set your body clock when you woke up in the morning, and the body clock kind of knows what time it is to the minute throughout the day, and it knows, okay, so at 11 o'clock, this is when the sleep drive starts taking over, and this is when I want to start switching things up a bit. So all that adrenaline, cortisol, histamine that it was using during the daytime to keep you awake, it will boot all of those things away, and it will start to ramp up your melatonin, which is a sleepiness hormone. And if that drive to sleep is there, that natural drive, the sleep drive is there, the sleepy feelings coming, the melatonin's coming in from the body clock, and as long as you're not anxious, stressed and worried, you would drift off to sleep. So that's how the sleep wake cycle works. Well, what happens if you play computer games or you check your text message or go on social media? Well, what you're doing then is you're telling the brain that you want it to be active, you want it to be alert, you want it to problem solve. And the brain is incredibly smart and incredibly adaptable. And it will go, okay, well, you want me to be awake, so I'm going to not give you this melatonin. I'm going to keep the adrenaline, keep the cortisol, keep the histamine going to keep you awake because I know you want to do this task. So I don't know if you've ever deliberately kept yourself awake. So, you know, you've gone out clubbing till 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, when naturally you would normally feel sleepy around about midnight. Or maybe you've got a deadline and you've got to get an essay in. And so you have to stay awake till say 5 o'clock in the morning. Why aren't you falling asleep there? Because you're asking the brain to be active, you're asking the brain to be alert, and it will respond and do exactly what you ask of it. And so this is what's happening when you're playing computer games before bed. This is what's happening when you just check that one message. This is what's happening where just that literally that social media post, the brain very quickly goes, this person wants to be awake, it wakes you up, and then you then hope to feel sleepy again. But whilst the brain can very quickly make you alert, make you active, it takes a lot longer for the wakefulness hormones to slowly dissipate and the sleepy hormones to come in again. So this is why it can be so problematic. Computer games, social media, really not recommended before bedtime. So what's a really great thing to do? And a great thing to do is to have something which I call the buffer zone. So you say to yourself, at 10 o'clock in the evening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop working no matter what. I'm going to stop my computer games, I'm going to stop my text messages, I'm going to turn my phone off, and I'm just going to do things that are quite passive activities. So watching TV, reading books, listening to a podcast, just to help naturally transition you towards sleep like that. But what I really don't want you to do is become really obsessive and controlling around this, because this can actually lead and perpetuate insomnia as well. So often people, okay, well, I've heard that advice, so I've got to do my meditation, I've got to do my relaxation, I've got to do my warm baths to force sleep to come. And actually, this can be another thing that creates more obsession, more control, more worry around your sleep, and good sleepers aren't doing this. So this advice of doing kind of passive relaxing activities, they're not to force sleep to come. It's more really just to get you enjoying bedtime, enjoying the night, helping you feel relaxed, calm and happy before bed, dampening down that anxiety that you usually associate with the evenings because you've got insomnia. This is the purpose of them, but they're not there to force and make sleep happen. So I know I say it on my channel or not, you cannot force sleep. There's nothing you can do to force sleep. But this is a very important point, because anything that you do with the intention of trying to make sleep happen can backfire. So the buffer zone, incredibly helpful, but please don't have yourself a laundry list of 1,001 sleep efforts that you have to do in order to try and make sleep happen. And also don't be really kind of obsessive around the buffer zone. Obviously there's going to be some nights that you want to go out for a meal, that you want to meet up with your friends, so you can't do your buffer zone. Well, I would say if you were to cancel those things so that you can religiously do this buffer zone and protect your sleep like that, that again is incredibly counterintuitive as well. Essentially, you want to do the things of a good sleeper, do the things of a normal sleeper. And as I always say on my channel, it's always about balance. Right guys, let me know in the comments if you found this video helpful, and if you've been playing computer games before bed, and if it does indeed take you a long time to fall asleep because you've been doing that. And I, as again, really hope this video is sleepz.com. So if you want a step-by-step video course which takes you from insomnia to the best sleep advice of your life, you're going to find it at sleepz.com. All right, I'll see you on my next video.